Father's Day is almost here, and sometimes it's difficult to find the perfect gift for Dad. But Keith Phillips always has an idea, right, Keith?
I do, and believe me, if you're coming from the father side of it,
yes,
it's not hard to find gifts. But on the other side, with the kids, it sometimes is.
True.
So what we're going to be making today is we're going to be making a succulent garden, and what we're going to do with this is we're going to make this on an old gardening tool. Now, I want to tell you right now, if you're making this, be sure to ask your mother to ask your dad if it's okay to use the tool you want to use to do this. Don't go and do this yourself. We're going to use an old shovel, and this is one of my old shovels right here. And the only thing I've done to it, it will be able to be used again, is I've drilled 2 holes in it here because we're going to need that to help fasten our product on here. So I'm going to let you hold that.
All right.
It's almost like American Gothic.
It is, there we are. I love it.
All right. So what we're going to use is chicken wire to make our mesh that we're going to put over the shovel blade. Now, when you're working with chicken wire, do be careful because it is sharp. So what I like to do when I cut it is I like to use, for the top edge that we're going to have here, one of the finished edges off the roll of chicken wire. Then as we mold it to go around, we're going to go like this. And then we're going to take those ends and we're actually going to fold those over like that to actually hold our frame together. So that'll go down the whole way, and then we'll cut it the length we need it, and we'll sear it across the bottom. And when we're done, we end up with something like this, just a little pocket like that. You can see here, it's all folded over. It's folded over here, and we've left this opening right in the bottom because we're going to slide that right up the shovel.
The handle, gotcha.
So we're going to put the handle right here.
Great idea.
And then, using one of our favorite things, of course, the zip ties, we're just going to take that and zip tie this right onto those 2 holes that we drilled into the shovel head. And again, this is not going to damage the shovel head, but if your dad really likes it, he might not want to rip it apart. So again, you might want to make sure that you have the right tool to do this with. Now, what I have soaking here is sheet moss. And sheet moss is a green moss that comes like this. It's actually, harvested. That's the other side of it. So that's the side that we want facing out.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is use that sheet moss to make it into our pot.
Sometimes you can find these older tools at yard sales and things
like that. Oh my goodness, definitely. Yeah.
Or something's like cracked a little bit.
Yep, or maybe the head is chipped or something like that. Someone doesn't want it anymore. So now what we've done is we've made it into our planting pocket.
I love it.
So we're going to take and we're going to add a little bit of soil. Now, because we're going to be using succulents in here, we don't want to add our soil moist, and we're not going to add any slow release fertilizer because that would be too much for them.
Okay.
So we've got some soil in here. Now, if you want to hand me probably the tallest one right there, we're going to start by putting the tall one over on this side right here. Remember, succulents don't take much care, so that's something Dad should like. Something that's going to be easy to care for.
He can enjoy it, but he doesn't have to.
He doesn't need one more thing to take care of. All right. Now, how about if you give me that trailing one?
All right.
Yep. This actually is called String of Dolphins. And I just think it is so cool.
It's so unique. It really does look like little dolphins.
So this is if you can't get away to the beach this year, at least you'll have a string of dolphins in your Father's Day gift for your dad. So we'll put that one right over there. And then I think just actually a couple of those little ones to stick in the center here. These are just little starts. They just come like this. We'll tuck a few of those in there, and I think we're going to be pretty well.
Oh my gosh, this idea is absolutely genius.
And the other thing you could do is if you had like a shovel, a rake, and a pitchfork or something like that, you could do a set of 3.
Oh, nice.
So you could hang them together on the wall. I'm going to put a little bit more soil in here to finish that off. Again, with your succulents, remember that you don't need to have like excess fertilizer, that type of thing in. They really just like the neglect, actually. So
Perfect,
now
right?
that we have
Low maintenance.
very low maintenance. It would go in a sunny area. When someone would get this home, I probably would tell them to water it right away and then not water it probably for 10 days to 2 weeks.
All right.
And then they could give it a light watering
really?
again.
That long?
10 days to 2 weeks. Yeah, so about every other week is when you're going to want to water this. And if we're getting a decent amount of rain outside, just check it before you water it because it should be dry to the touch on the top before we water it.
Okay.
So just like that, we've made a beautiful little gift
love it.
for your dad. There's 2 or 3 kids in the family. You could even put your names on the handles.
I love it.
And each one of you have a tool there representing them. If you're a G-Pop, maybe all your grandkids would do it.
Yes.
So this will be a lot of fun and it's a great project to work with together. Just make sure that, again, you ask about the tool and that you have someone to help you. If you're doing this alone, have someone to help you with the chicken wire because it is sharp to work with.
Right.
So there we go, a fun gift for Dad.
You know, you're really digging your dad with this, right?
That's
For
exactly
sure.
right.
Thank you, Keith. It's so much fun to work with you all the time. As usual, you come up with great ideas for us.
Thank you.
We appreciate it, and we're wishing you a very happy Father's
Well,
Day.
thank you.